Pod Chef. Pod Chef. You're listening to Pod Chef. When I say pod, y'all say chef. Pod Chef. You listening to Pod Chef. It's a podcast about Top Chef, and that's a broadcast. It's on TV, and you can watch it. They got 17 seasons, that's a lot, kid. But you can skip those. We do recaps about the whole show. Not the food, though, but the other stuff. Yeah. You're now listening to Pod Chef, the only official podcast about the TV show Top Chef, with your hosts, Jamal, Bryan, and Reaves. And I only said their first names because I don't know everyone's last name, and I'm trying to be polite. Now enjoy the show.
Welcome to Pod Chef, the official Top Chef podcast. I'm your host, Jamal. With me is my co-host, Reaves.
What's up? We're doing it. We're getting in there fast.
Bryan's here for a full episode as well.
Hello.
Super excited for it. He's going to be here the entire episode.
Maybe
there
not,
will not be a
not.
part in the episode where you're like, I haven't heard Bryan speak for a long time. Is he still there? He's still here. Trust me. Okay?
He's here.
Trust me.
He's always here. He's not leaving.
He's not going anywhere.
And the thing is, if he did leave,
would you?
And this is just a hypothetical situation that probably won't happen.
Right.
It would be for a reasonable.
It would have to be a good reason.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Probably health related.
More than likely.
I would. Yeah. I mean, that's the only thing that would keep me from this podcast is something health related.
And the health of your marriage counts in that.
I think it does. Yeah. Mental health also counts. If I just needed to like get off this podcast and just like, put my head in a Harry Potter book and not look at a screen for 25 minutes, that's mental health, and that's good. If I need to not play for the Sixers for 4 months and then show up at the Brooklyn Nets practice and look fine, that's because I got what I wanted and now I'm happy again. That's how mental health works. You are sad and then you get happy and it goes away sometimes.
It's also how injuries work in professional sports. You're injured for a team you don't like, but as soon as you get traded, you're healthy again.
Or you retire for a team that you don't like, and then you come back. Tom Brady
come back,
take a year off and come back.
Well, Tom Brady liked the Bucks. You should have said Rob Gronkowski because he literally did that.
It rejuvenated him.
Yeah, he literally
it
retired.
Cured him of retirement.
Because he didn't want to play for the Patriots, and then he came back and played for.
It happens, folks, and that's just part of the game.
That's part of it.
Maybe I get sick of doing podcasts, and then and I'm like, I can't do podcasts anymore. And then some other podcasts like, hey, you want to do my podcast? And I'm like, yeah, I like doing podcasts now.
And even if he's in the middle of recording his own podcast, if another podcast says, hey, can you record at such and such date and time, and it conflicts with our recording, it's part of mental health that you got to leave this podcast and then go do that episode.
Yes.
But contractually obligated to mention our podcast on that new podcast you're recording.
Yeah. It's in my contract.
Yeah. And this is all hypothetical. Super hypothetical.
We don't even need to talk about it because it's not happening.
It is analytical. And a little bit biblical too.
Yeah.
I think it's also cyclical.
Yes.
Yep. And
and technical.
Yes.
It's very technical.
Yes.
It's radical. Mechanical.
It's radical.
It's definitely radical.
It's radical.
It's traditional.
It's traditional.
Situational.
We were going very fast and we've just like hit the mud so hard.
Hey, some people like it.
Yeah.
Some people like it. We've got fans.
Yeah. Ooh, should we read a review? We've got a new one. It's been a while. I think we should. I think it's been so long that I think we should.
I think
you can do this, but it's not cleared.
I think your instincts on the reviews. If it's bad, then yes, absolutely. Do we read it out and talk about it? If it's good, we say thank you for your
service. Thank you
service.
for your meal service.
Yes.
All right, I guess
and we see you. We see what you did, and we appreciate it.
We do appreciate it.
He is actually looking it up. All right. So while he's doing that,
I've been told not to do it.
Why don't we really what we haven't done in a while? Really dug into Chefs I Prepare For You. Really dig into it, which is a feature that we do every week. People do love it.
You know what I'd like to do right now, because I'm the host and I say it all the time. I like to hear you two do the intro stinger that I have to do every time we do this bit. I like to hear you guys do the intro if you know it.
The intro to Chefs I Prepare for You?
Yeah, the entire thing that I say every time we do this.
This is the segment we called Chefs I Prepared for You, in which we where we say what we had for dinner last night, and only last night, as if we were a contestant on Top Chef. I'll go first. I'm Jamal. Last night I prepared for you Cajun spiced chicken.
That part's accurate. That part's accurate. But the intro you did was
whipped
terrible.
sweet potatoes.
Go ahead, Reaves.
And broccoli.
And this is why, you know what? Maybe Brian's a better friend. I didn't even remember that we have an intro that's consistent for Chefs I Prepare for You. And this is why we need to dig into it now.
All right. All right. Let's really dig into Chefs I Prepared for You. Chefs I Prepared for You is a segment we do every week where we talk about what we had for dinner last night and only last night, and present it to you as if we're presenting to the judges on Top Chef.
I was pretty close.
First. No, you weren't. You missed so many words. You butchered so many words.
I'll
go
the
first.
Gist.
It's not about the gist. It's about getting it right.
The gist.
Chefs up. I'll go first.
I say that all the time when I get something wrong in math.
Yeah.
I got the gist of it, right?
I got you knew what I meant.
Yeah.
Reaves did all the math on the Challenger shuttle.
That's a real callback.
He sent it and he said, I got the gist of the numbers.
Yeah. I mean,
here are the estimates.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in the inquiry afterwards, that's what I said. I had the gist of everything, right? It's good enough.
They said,
you knew what I was trying to say, right?
Yeah. I wanted the spacecraft to go into space and not explode. You knew that I meant to do that.
People started quoting exact numbers to Reaves, and Reaves was like, well, if you know, you should have used the numbers.
Yeah, well, why are we? Okay. You seem to know it, so where were you?
Yeah.
When I was putting this together. I was doing this all by myself.
I asked for help.
And no one would help me. I Googled the answers, and I couldn't. I had to sign up for something to get the answers, and I got worried about that. It was not my fault.
It's not your fault. You gave estimates. If they had a problem, they should have came back.
Yeah.
All right, so Chefs I Prepared for You. Last night I made Cajun spiced chicken.
Oh, I nailed it.
Yeah.
With sweet potato puree.
Fuck yeah. And the
and
vegetable?
roasted broccoli.
Yo, shit, yeah.
Dude.
Wow. And if that was hard to have guessed, this would be quite the achievement. But since it is literally what you have every night.
Yeah, it's what I have every single night. So let's dive into it.
Let's dive into it.
We're diving deeper into it now.
Okay.
So what's up? What are your questions? What do you want to dive into?
I feel like I know all the answers to these questions.
What? Was it good? Did you like it?
It was very good. I enjoyed it very much.
This is a single chicken breast.
Actually, last night it was 2 chicken thighs.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to get some
boneless,
some fattier meat. Yeah.
Okay. Dark meat.
They were juicy.
When you do cook chicken breast, do you flatten it out?
I do not.
I have to do that, or else it takes forever.
See, so I've kind of mastered this without the smashing technique. You cook it on high heat very fast. It's been cooking even all the way through. I've been doing it the entire pandemic. 15 minutes.
Damn,
that's all it takes.
Doesn't burn on the outside?
So, pan sear it for 4 minutes on medium heat. The pan's got to be hot. Oil's got to be rippling. Put it in there 4 minutes. Put your splash guard down if you have that. I do.
Of course you do.
Then you take it, you turn it, right? I'll then, while it's down, you season the other side, obviously.
Sure.
And you turn it. Then you put it in the oven. The oven's already preheated 450. Okay?
Okay.
Now, does your oven have ventilation? That's the question you'd ask yourself, because it's going to get steamy in there and the smoke needs a place to go. So if your oven doesn't have ventilation, you're going to get very disgusting tasting chicken. If your oven has ventilation, the smoke's getting out of there, and you pull it out after 15 minutes, you put the thermometer in there, it should read between 155 and 160. It's ready to go.
I asked my oven if it has ventilation or not, and it said, that's rude. It's none of your business.
Oh, you can't ask anymore. I forgot.
How are you supposed to know?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you ask. That's what I said.
Yeah.
And then they were like, I have some literature I want you to read. learn about whether or not you're supposed to ask people if
I forgot about that. You're not
Ventilation.
supposed to ask an oven that anymore.
I will say this, that my oven does get very smoky when I bring it up to 450 and then it tastes very yucky. So I think it is, but
You can't assume.
I can't assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you can't assume.
So yeah, I don't beat my chicken down. I don't beat my meat.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we dove into that.
Nothing else. No other questions. You want to know about the never-ending sweet potato farm I got growing here, or the broccoli IPO I'm opening?
You do get a lot, and I wonder, when you go to the grocery store, if you go to the same register, if they're ever like, "Hey, man, you can just start taking this stuff for free if you want. You just start taking these sweet potatoes. Just walk right out the door with them. It's all right."
They did ask me, "Do you want to start a tab?" And I said, "That sounds dangerous."
Yeah, you get drunk.
And he said,
You don't know
"Come
how
on,
many sweet potatoes you bought.
come on,
Yeah.
dude, you're in here every morning. Literally right after we change out the sweet potatoes, you're in here. Almost like you're hawking us from outside. Do you just want to start a tab? You just come grab the fresh ones and you can head out. You can pay us at the end of the week." And I was like, "That's a trap, man." Because as soon as I leave with unpaid produce,
You saw right there.
roll the sirens,
Yep.
get butt naked, spread them on the
Yep.
pavement.
Yeah.
It's too cold to be getting butt naked and strip searched by the police right now.
Can't do it. Not now. Come spring.
Come spring, I'll do it.
I'll take some
Please.
chances.
I'll
Yeah.
absolutely do it.
Yeah.
It's such great weather for that.
Oh, but there are fewer and fewer days and I'm sorry to get political. Global warming is a thing. We go from winter to summer so fast, and some are too hot to do it. You spread your cheeks, put them on the ground, you end up cooking the inside of your butt.
Hey, Bryan, I just thought of something else. So I'm also on the kick of trying to find other green vegetables I can eat raw. And right now it's the arugula salad, with a little lime and lemon splash and olive oil, toss, salt and pepper, lightly, so the smallest pinch of salt, but then like a couple turns of pepper and just a turn. I can handle it. My stomach doesn't go crazy.
Okay.
I'm trying to find other greens I can eat raw.
And it seemed like you were going to say something to what I had just said about burning your
I
butt
just wanted
on the
you to
thing,
stop.
and
I
then
just
you
wanted
talked
to
about
stop.
arugula.
Yeah. I wanted you
No.
to stop your thing.
So it's not about burning your butt.
Because I kind of felt like you were going away from the digging deep into my thing. And
I think we've dug deep enough.
So is there any other questions? You want to know anything else? I mean, let's dive deep.
No, I have no other questions.
Okay.
All right. I feel like we never get the opportunity to really ask these kinds of questions because we're rushing through because we have so much material that we have to get into in such a short time. And it's like, today we got the time, right? We got nothing on the agenda other than reviewing the stupid cooking show. That happened a million years ago. So we got the time. So let's just dig deep into it. I like that.
Great.
So chefs, I prepared for you brothy Thai curry with silken tofu and herbs.
Brothy Thai curry. What color was it?
It looked kind of orangey.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember because at first it's very red. Oh yeah. So it's like very red, and then you add in some like
Coconut
chicken
milk.
broth or whatever. Yes, coconut milk is what changes it because it's the tomatoes and the red curry, and that's super red, and then the coconut milk makes it a little bit more orange. And then you don't even do anything to the tofu. You just like put it in the bowl, you season a little bit, you let it sit, and then you just pour the broth, the curry over it, and it warms it right up.
You don't cook the tofu at all?
Not this silken
You don't want to get
tofu.
it crispy?
Silken.
So it probably would be better. Texturally, it was, unless you were a fan of uncooked tofu that's not crisp, a little bit yucky. Kind of tastes like, you guys ever eat some duty that's like really wet? That's kind of what it looked like.
Last time I had duty, years ago.
When I get it, it's usually crispy.
You
The
get
duty.
it crisp?
The duty.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what
mine's
yours was.
it starts crispy because it's usually fried, but then if I leave it out, it gets soggy.
Or you put it in a container, close the lid, the steam.
Yeah, and I take it to lunch, and then I'm like, God, I did it again.
Yeah, it's never the
Yeah.
same.
Trying
People
to heat
come
it
in and
up.
go, "Your food smells like shit." I'm like, "Well, it used to be crispy."
Yeah. And thank you. Yes, I am eating shit.
Yeah. I'm not denying that it smells like shit. It is
Okay.
shit.
I don't even bring that up. It does smell like shit. I'm like, "Well, it used to be crispy at least."
You don't hear me coming in saying your food smells like chicken because that's just
Yeah,
a
it's
statement,
obvious.
right? It doesn't mean anything.
It's
To you.
stinking up the entire office. Well, you microwaved fish the other day, Karen, and I
Yeah.
didn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys ever run into that? Someone microwave fish at work?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever run into it.
I haven't
But-
been to work in so long that I forgot if that's ever happened.
All the things we used
Doesn't
to
happen
complain
here
about.
ever. It never happens in my
Mm.
house. We're not
No.
over here microwaving fish.
That's good.
You know what my mom does? She microwave cooks flounder from raw to cooked.
What?
Yeah.
That's like some 60s shit right
Yeah.
there. Yeah, when like
That's not flounder anymore.
Yeah, it's I don't
It's
think,
just
I don't
dirt
think
at that
flavor
point,
is
I
a
think.
thing. I don't think
Yeah,
you
I
need
think
anything.
it's just dirt at that point.
Yeah, you're only you lose the flound, just the dirt.
Yeah, that is a completely changed animal at that point.
Yeah.
is that a speed thing? Just like because I can just put it in there
Yeah.
for 10 minutes and then it looks like it's cooked.
Yeah, and it does cook through. It's just like it's at that point it's just like
Rubber.
guess I'm just eating that. Yeah, there's no like thought to it.
Yeah,
It's like
Mm.
boiling chicken, I guess.
that's not good.
You can't microwave
not
chicken.
good.
That shit takes too long.
Well, yeah. Do you want to talk about when you did that?
There was a guy that I used to know when I used to work at the UPS store who was afraid to use the oven in his house. So he would one time he microwaved a whole chicken. It didn't cook through, and he called
Holy
it
crap.
chewy chicken, and he ate it. And I
And
don't think he
got
died.
sick.
I don't think he
got
died.
sick. I'm sure he got sick though.
He might have gotten sick.
I think he had diarrhea at least.
At least had diarrhea.
At minimum, he had the squirts.
Yes. What kind of veggies were in your silken tofu curry, Reaves?
Tomatoes, cherry
Mhm.
tomatoes, which was very nice. It's a nice
Mhm.
little surprise because you don't cut them up. I like, cherry tomatoes, if you get them like, cooked really hot, they're a nice little treat. So there's that. What else was in it? Some shallots, garlic, ginger, your typical stuff.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's actually pretty much it. Oh, scallions.
So it's mostly broth. You said
Yeah,
brothy, so
It's pretty much broth. Yeah, it's so brothy. And then your duty tofu.
Mm.
yeah.
Mhm.
You
Probably
should-
better with chicken. That's
You
Is that
for
should
sure.
filling?
make it.
No. No. And Jenny suggested next time it should have chicken, and she's right. It should have had chicken in it. Probably would have been better.
Well, it may have been more filling if you put some heat to that tofu.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Gotta heat, brother.
Yeah, put that tofu over some heat.
Yeah, I think
Right.
so.
Do you miss your broccoli and chicken lunches?
Oof, great question. Yes and no. I haven't been eating a lot of broccoli lately, which is probably not good. I think I need more vegetables in my diet.
Mm-hmm.
I do cook a lot of chicken breast in the
Mhm.
oven. So I always have that on tap. And then I like to get creative with it for lunch. Maybe I'll have tacos. Maybe I'll have a chicken sandwich.
Mm.
Maybe chicken salad. I don't know, but I don't eat it plain as much anymore. It'll probably come back around. I bet in a month I'll be eating that again.
Okay.
This is good. We're like, do you guys feel this? Like we're digging in
Mhm,
deep.
mhm,
And this is, we just don't get an opportunity to do this kind of stuff.
We're
I mean,
always
I feel like we dug in with you and we kind of mocked me a little bit.
we
but that's
dug in
fine.
with you plenty.
I think we mocked me mostly. I think the
You're right.
ratio was more 60-40. I think it was
Yeah.
60 mock, 40 dig. Whereas Reaves is more almost 95 dig,
Well, let me
5% mock.
present this to you. You ever been in like a writer's room scenario or like a sketch room scenario, and you
Without
pitch
a fire?
something and you pitch
Oh,
something
God,
and
it's
everyone
smoking
yeah
in
well
here now.
yeah before it got all weird, and you
Yeah.
pitch something and like no one talks about it, and then someone else pitches something and everyone talks about it
Mm-hmm.
because it's more interesting.
Yeah.
And-
So what you're saying is the stuff I cook isn't interesting.
yes, and I
Okay.
think you'll admit that. I don't think that's not insulting to you,
Well, that's a little insulting.
is it?
Yeah, because it's like I'm only cooking for myself. I'm not cooking for anyone else. I wouldn't put anyone else under this routine. So, like, if someone else was here, like when I was living with my girlfriend at the time, like we cook something different every day. So this is only because I'm cooking. I just have to cook for me. I just have to worry about my nutrition.
That's fine, but that still doesn't mean
But
that
it's
what
not
you're
boring,
doing. Yeah, yes, it is. What
No,
you are
it's not.
doing is, if you were to do more, then it wouldn't be. Yes, clearly.
How's it boring? I made waffles from scratch last week.
That's not what you told me. You told me that you made Cajun spiced chicken breast, whipped sweet potatoes, and broccoli.
Yeah, I'm talking about on a day that we didn't record. See, I could be lying like we usually do, and
I've
pick
never lied.
the most interesting dish I made for the week.
I've
But
never
instead,
lied.
I stick to the rules and I say the dish I had last night, tried and true.
Mhm.
But it's okay. I can take it. You think I'm boring? That's fine. I'm okay being boring. I've been told by white guys like you I've been boring my whole life.
I am not a creature of habit, and that's so I view that as boring.
Yeah, and I am.
Yeah.
I've been in a writer's room where I pitch a joke. No one says anything. People talk for a while. And then someone pitches a very similar joke, but just slightly different. And then
Mhm.
everyone fucking loses their shit. And then I spend the rest of the day planning their demise and how I will ruin them somehow. Because I'm so livid about it.
And then I spend the rest of the time in the writer's room like I'm gonna have an add-on that is gonna rock this fucking room at some point because I'm not leaving on this down note.
I'm going to wait till that guy, it's probably a guy, right?
It's
Guy.
It's a
Yeah.
writer's
I'm
room.
gonna wait to this
Yeah.
white guy.
Yeah.
Look, we're assuming this is a show that's on TV.
This is a writer's room. Yeah.
Mhm.
The next time he pitches something and everyone laughs, I'm just going to say it again louder just to really mow his fucking lawn so everyone laughs again.
Yeah. All right. So, Brian, you've got all the time in the world now to.
Yeah. Just space. We've created space, which
got
it feels
space
very
for
good.
you?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I feel
gotta
bad
check my
because
phone.
as I am one to do, it was another procurement. Chefs, last night I procured for you. I went to the Wizards Nets game at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. I got to see all the stars. The stars
Thomas
studded.
Bryant,
Thomas Bryant,
Danny Advia.
Ooh, Danny, really, you want to watch some like Anthony Gill? You want to watch some Anthony Gill?
You got to see Anthony Gill?
Yeah, I got to see Anthony Gill get blocked like 4 plays in a row, but he's still a superstar,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you know? And the seats weren't even that good. They were fine. Tickets were cheap, so it was fine. Last night I procured for you a burger and fries from this place called Paisanos.
Okay.
And so before, and I got all the time in the world, before I went to the game, I got an email from the Brooklyn Nets that was like, hey, here's a video of these food reviewers called like the Hung Bros or something like that. And they went to a bunch of food places in Barclays and like reviewed them.
Mhm.
And one of them they talked up highly was this Paisanos burger place. They're like, it's so good. It's got this like different mixture of like meat. And I was like, sweet, I'm going to get that. Because it was like right next to my seat on the concourse. And I got it. And man, that shit was as basic a burger as you could have possibly got. Like
Mhm.
when you mass produce burgers, you have to cook them through. It's just what they do. And that kind of like you lose a lot of the nuance to the burger when it's cooked through. It's at that point it just tastes like a grill burger, because what you taste is the cooked,
Yeah. You know it's cooked.
right? But that's all you get is the
That's
cooked.
all you're getting is the cook. You're like, I can taste that this was cooked. This was put on fire.
Right,
Not getting anything else.
right. So,
And how long was it before you got behind the counter and went into the kitchen there to teach them exactly how they needed to do it?
almost immediately. Almost immediately. I don't even think I bit the burger before I was like, all right, everybody gather around, let me show you what to do. And I hopped the counter and it looked
You hopped the
it looked
counter?
Okay.
cool. It looked super cool.
Oh,
Okay, good.
crap.
Because, when we all went to a game, obviously you did this again, and you tried to jump it, and you just kicked over the cash register.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While the money went everywhere.
Yeah.
It started a whole riot. Yeah.
So that did happen, and what I did is I started watching The Rock's Instagram stories, and I learned how to jump higher and how to drink
Nice.
Termani tequila and how to
Nice.
rap like him, and that helped me do this. And I didn't want to look like a
You
fool
also
again.
had that
Nice.
Toa energy drink, right? Zoa?
I did, yeah, and I got all those tribal tattoos. Which when I asked the tattoo artist for them, he was like, "Hey, dude, you probably shouldn't be getting these. And I was like, hey man, do you want to make $50? And he said, no, I want to make $600. This is a huge tattoo.
And you
So
went
he gave me
ahead with
50
it, right?
He gave me $50 worth of tribal tattoos, which I'll tell you this isn't much. But they're there.
There's just like, because I mean, you showed it to us. It's on your shoulder, and it basically is just a circle outline. It kind of looks like a mollusk almost that hasn't been colored in.
Yeah, it doesn't quite connect. It's like a circle that doesn't quite connect.
Yeah.
But it
kind of looks like a C.
Yeah.
Right now.
But it does connect me to my tribal roots.
Okay.
I mean, that's what it's about.
Yeah, that's what it's about. It's about the heritage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's dive deeper.
Yeah, let's really dig into
a
this
lot
burger.
of the a lot of the chefs I prepared for you. You're not preparing
No.
the food, which is kind of interesting because you have such a stark take on me for the fact that I actually am preparing the food, but it's like your food's fucking boring, but at least I'm actually fucking preparing it.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's
super
like-
easy to judge somebody.
It's called
Judging
chef's
someone is easier than to actually do things. I'll fucking
It's
do.
fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Yeah, I'll
It makes
talk
me
about
feel good.
chefs
I
I
feel good.
prepared for you. In this year, can we get more chefs I prepared instead of chefs I procured?
I can sure as shit try, but I can't
That's
make
all I
any
wanna hear.
promises.
That's all I want to hear that you'll try. That's it.
Yes.
Okay, do you want to hear my team name for the fantasy?
I think we all said we weren't talking fantasy this week.
I'm not
Yeah, I
recapping
heard
my teams. I'm
complaints.
just gonna say
So,
my team name.
well,
My team name is Does Nick Wallace Look Like a Bitch? That's my team name.
Okay.
Hmm.
Not sure.
And
how I
are we
feel about
using
that
that word
Yeah.
still?
Yeah. Are we saying Nick Wallace?
It's
Yeah,
from
are
a
we
Quentin
saying Nick
Tarantino
Wallace?
movie, so it's okay to say.
I think I want to call my team Michelin State.
Okay.
Michelin State.
Yes.
Michelin State. University or just Michelin State?
Let me think. Michelin State University. Michelin State.
We have time, so just think about it.
Yeah, maybe Brian, do you
Yeah.
have opinions on Michelin? What sounds better? Michelin State University. Is that a college? Michigan State University?
Michigan State is. How about Mizzou?
Mizzou?
They call it the zoo, though.
Pod Chef.
And we're back. Season 5 of Pod Chef. Season 4 of Top Chef. Episode 12, High Stakes. We're back. We're doing the episode. It's a big episode. The stakes are in the name, so you know something's going to be doing. We got beef happening here.
Yep, they're
It's a
chopping up the
Tommy.
beef.
They're chopping up the beef. It's a Tommy Tomahawk challenge. They have to break down and clean 7 tomahawk chops when they go to a butcher.
They are given what is essentially the side of a cow,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
they're told to make it 7 smaller sides of a cow.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it's dry aged, so that means that it looks gross. And it just this is like Top Chef is both simultaneously making me like cooking and also hate cooking. Because it's
Mhm.
gross. This
Best
whole
of
thing
both
is
worlds.
gross. A lot of sweetbread talk in this episode.
And none of its carbs.
It's fucking it's kind of it's gross. It's gross. I watch commercials now where they're like, we make the best chicken and raise the best chicken. I'm just like, you're just talking about killing something. I don't know.
I'm surprised that you see commercials when you're watching everything in picture that you can. I mean, you're right. It is gross. When it's dry aged, it's also like more difficult for them to cut through. So it was interesting watching them navigate that.
Not if you know what you're doing.
but
Just
not
gotta-
if you're,
if
you're the son
fucking
of a
Spike.
butcher.
Yeah, if you're
and the
Spike.
and the
I'm the son of a
grandkid
butcher, man.
of a butcher.
Yes.
Spike cleans. He's got butcher skills. We got to give it up for him. Spike, here are your flowers. You know how to butcher. You're the best butcher of everyone who's on the season remaining. He does a great job. And you know what? Why don't we just skip to it? Spike wins the quickfire challenge. Let's listen.
Spike. It's kind of rewarding. It's just to show the other 4 people that, listen, I'm still here and I'm here to play hard from now on.
Congratulations, Spike. As you know, you don't have immunity. I know.
Come on. No, Spike, there's no immunity. So there's
Yeah.
no point in break out those skills now. You should have been winning earlier.
So
The guest judge, I do want to point this out. The guest judge, when he goes around to everyone's station, he just says, "How did you cook this?" And whatever they say, he just says, "Okay."
How did you cook this?
Medium on the pan, then basted it.
Okay. And how did you cook this?
I did on the grill, and then I threw it in the oven to finish.
Okay.
And you, how did you cook this?
I ain't cook a damn thing.
That's what, honestly, that's how most of them looked. When he would cut into them and they were purple, if you had said, I ain't cook a damn thing, he could have gone, okay, I see that. Because what we did, this episode started off weird and stupid, and the editing and production was bad because we see no judges at first. They just go to some random place, they cut meat, then they just go home. They don't say anything about the meat, nothing about it. The next day, they're like, here's your meat again, now cook it. And then they all looked bad. They all looked purple on the inside.
They weren't cooked through. A lot of people were banking on that it would rest long enough that it would start cooking through, but Girl and the Goat tried to kill Padma with raw meat. Yeah, I think part of it was they were judging them based on like how well they cut it in the previous part, but that really they said that maybe twice the entire time. It was mainly about how cooked through it was, which Spike did a good job.
Maybe if like they all hadn't like cooked it so poorly, they could have like gotten to that you also cut it poorly too. But it's like, this looks like shit. This is cooked poorly. I'm not gonna even go to how you cut it. I need it to look like a lollipop. You know, big huge bone and a big slab of meat, like a lollipop. You know,
that's how I eat those kind of tomahawk steaks. I just suck on them.
Yeah. You know, you're
in my mouth, suck on them.
You're a good little boy or girl. Get a shot at the doctor. He hands you a tomahawk steak, and
you go to the bank, make a deposit, and I'm like, "Mommy, can I have one of the tomahawk?"
They got the bowl right there full of tomahawk steaks.
See a kid come out of the bank, face covered in blood because he's been eating lollipop tomahawk.
Maybe your sig of is trying to seduce you, so they centrally lick on a tomahawk lollipop.
Yeah, maybe they're like licking on it and they're like, "Why don't you come watch wrestle with me?"
And they're like 5 minutes later, I feel so sick. How long was that lollipop out for?
It wasn't worth it. You left me, abandoned me.
How'd you cook this? Okay.
Okay.
I sucked on it.
So Spike wins nothing, right?
He wins nothing except for our,
Oh no, he
our
gets
applause.
to pick the ingredients first, and what he does is he does a stupid thing.
He was able to select 2 proteins to use for his dishes, preventing other chefs from using those proteins first. So for the elimination challenge, each chef had to create an appetizer and entree. In addition to working the line at Rick Tramonto's steak and seafood restaurant. So that was the elimination. They basically got to make their own 2 dishes, but Spike got to pick proteins first.
The restaurant was closed, right? They made it seem like it was full of guests, but like, did we ever see a guest get the food or anything?
I mean, it was closed, and then, you have seat fillers, and they come in, and it makes it look like, well, it's an operating restaurant. It's obviously a closed night, and you can't come in.
I don't think they had guests. Yeah, I don't think it was.
They had a big sign on the door that said Top Chef Filming.
Closed for a private event.
It said, fuck off, Top Chef is filming.
Fuck off. And it was in Tom's writing.
So you couldn't read it.
Yeah. Yep. So they took over Rick's restaurant. He gave him the keys. And Spike chose frozen scallops like a dum-dum.
I don't know why he did that. Why? Like, everyone else was like, oh, they're frozen. Why'd you pick those?
I mean, hindsight's 2020, but if he had to pick those frozen scallops, we would not have gotten one of the best moments in Top Chef history that happens at the judges' table here. And I'm glad that it happened.
That's true.
I'm glad that happened.
So this episode has 2 of my favorite moments. That one is one, and then another one is, and we'll get to it when our friends show up and eat at the table.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Spike's scallops are too wet. We've all been there. Tom shows up while they're all preparing and gets in each chef's head a little bit. And he talks to Richard, and he kind of tells him he sounds like he's playing it easy. Let's Playing it safe. Let's listen.
Red wine. So let me just check on my red wine. Yeah.
Okay, it's pretty straightforward for you.
We'll see. I kind of under-promise, over-deliver. So hopefully I'm going to get around to a few
twists in there. All right. Okay.
Tom he says something to me that really bothers me a little bit today, and he says, "Seems like you're playing it safe today." It is straightforward for some of the things I've done. I'm not smoking anything in a plastic bag, and but it's a steakhouse. What are you doing?
Bro, that's not what he said. Okay. You're mixing up his words. And also, paranoid much?
Paranoid much, bruh?
Come on.
Hey, bruh. How about you don't change his words, huh, bruh?
Yeah. Hey, bruh. How about you actually listen to what your bra said to you?
Hey, abracadabra. Stop trying to do magic with his words.
Yeah.
Okay, bruh?
You can't win. Oh, Reaves, you gonna do another one?
I didn't know
You were going to do it. I thought you were going to come in and join.
No, I thought about it, but I didn't pay attention to the clip, so I don't know what.
Hey, it happens.
You can't win in these situations with Tom Colicchio, because if he had done a bag full of smoke, Tom would have said, "You doing the bag full of smoke thing again?"
Yeah.
And if you don't do it, he says, "Oh, pretty basic, huh?" You can't win.
Can't win.
These are mind games. Tom Colicchio doesn't give a shit what you're cooking or how you're cooking it. He just wants to fuck with you.
Well,
And he's got another way to fuck with him. He says, "Hey, guess who's expediting service tonight? Big Daddy Tom is."
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Big T, the frickin' Riddler. I'm here.
Yeah.
Expediting, yelling at you, getting in your head, asking how you feel about the challenge, which is what he asked everyone, which made me think that he didn't like the challenge. It's kind of like, it sucks, right? That was kind of stupid. What are we even doing here?
It's
You
pretty
should be like
basic challenge.
making eggs or something, right?
I think he's expediting because last week he wasn't here. And he's
Yes.
like, I gotta be in here. I gotta assert my authority again.
Pam is pissed at me. I don't want to be at judge's table with her.
Ugh.
Stood
But
her
I
up.
do want to be there because the VIPs come back. And the VIPs are who? Very important people to Top Chef. The first 3 season winners, Harold, Hung, and Elan. And if only Elan's name started with an H.
Yes.
Would have been the Triple H would have been back.
It's close though, with an I.
Yeah. Yep.
Mhm.
One letter
So
off.
the former winners are back, all dudes. What does that tell you? And they're here to be tough. They're here to give a review. Don't slouch. These guys know what it takes to win back there
Mm-hmm.
because they've done it. So you got to bring it. Shout out to our buddy Harold.
Our boy Harold's there. He's giving, very honest feedback. He's like, hey guys, just cook from your heart, don't force it. Hung says, cheat to win. Do what you can, slit everyone's throat. Care about no one, make no
Don't
friends.
make friends. Yeah.
Elon says, assault people when you can.
Well, he actually says don't do it. He learned his lesson.
Oh, that's a good point.
He
Yeah.
said don't shave anyone's head. Which it's funny now. We can all laugh about it now. It's funny now.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is this kind of like his way of saying, don't bring bald people to the show? Is this his way of coding, being like, whatever you do, don't try and mess with the black people?
Well,
He
they've
did
already
kind of
done
wink
it.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point. At this point, they have already kind of done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thanks.
This-
a lot.
yeah,
Thanks for
I don't
coming
know.
back.
This was
Everyone
kind
loves
of
your
a-
personality.
This was kind of a boring, for being the episode before the finale, was like a boring challenge.
Super boring.
It is pretty uneventful challenge, and the challenge is very basic, which maybe was part of the point of it. Can I talk about a moment that happens when they're eating?
Please.
Go ahead.
So we have Padma, Gail, Rick, and then our winners, the boys. And they bring out Antonia's poached egg and salad dish. People are enjoying it. And I want to note it. I want to explain this, and then you guys tell me if you noticed it and also what happened. Because there's a point where it pans, they're all enjoying it, and it pans to Alon, and Alon is staring at the dish. And then he very quickly sticks his fingers in his mouth, like incredibly aggressively, and it's super fast. I rewatched it. I'm not joking, 20 times because I could not figure out what the fuck was happening.
I missed that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I completely missed
With
that.
nothing-
Everyone look it up. It is worth it. And tell me what happened because it looks wild.
There's nothing on his fingers. Just put his fingers in his mouth.
I think the only thing I can think of is that he maybe squeezed the egg and got some of it on his fingers and then wanted to put it in his mouth. I'm not making it up. It happens and it is really weird because
Okay.
he's like, and this is for the video tier. He's like this, looking at it, and then all of a sudden goes. Like that.
You
I
think
was
he
like,
burned his hand?
you know what? Maybe it was
Maybe he burned his
that.
hand.
He burned his finger.
Did the server put the plate down and say, "Be careful, this plate's very hot"? I didn't hear the server say that.
I think all
Maybe
the
they
servers
didn't.
saying plates freezing cold. It's fine.
Freezing
Yeah.
cold.
Feel free to grab this with both of your hands.
Feel free.
The palms
Take
of
it
your
from my
hands.
hand. Take it. Take it. Take
And
it.
he
That's what
could
they're
feel
doing.
the heat, which is why
Yeah.
he was like hesitant to do it. And he touched it and burned the shit out of his
Yeah.
fingers. And the fastest way to cool them was sticking
In
in
your
his
mouth. Your mouth is nature's fridge.
I will figure out the exact
Timestamp
timestamp
it for
and
us.
I will send it to you guys so you
Nice.
can tell me what happens. Because I laughed hysterically and couldn't figure out what it was happening. Anyway,
So Spike makes a mistake with the sweet potato puree, and he should have talked to me. He should be here right now on the podcast, and we could have talked about it. You don't need to add any kind of sweetener to sweet potatoes. If you're cooking them right, and especially if you're sweating them, they're going to unleash so much sweetness. They don't need extra sweetness. They're going to be too sweet if you add anything to it. And I know that, but Spike didn't know that.
yeah. And Brian, you were giving us a too sweet.
Yeah.
I was, yeah.
This is because you thought that it was very sweet, the dig that Jamal did on Spike. The guy who won't come on our show.
Spike makes a mistake. The what does he make?
Frozen
why am I-
scallops.
frozen scallops. Wow,
Yes.
I'm blanking on scallops. Probably because they had no flavor. That's what everyone at the table was saying. The scallops had no flavor, and obviously not. I mean, they're frozen and they were too wet, and he had to dry them all out. We get to the judges' table.
Really quick,
Uh-huh.
two things. I subtly mentioned this earlier in this episode.
You're still here?
I'm gonna leave after this.
Hmm.
Both Stephanie and Antonia make sweetbreads,
Mm-hmm.
which is some kind of gland of veal.
Mm-hmm.
That's two types of gross. Both those things are gross.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, which sounds gross, but if you do it right, it tastes like a chicken McNugget.
Mm-hmm.
And to that I say, just eat a fucking chicken McNugget. Don't make a cow never move as a baby to get tender meat and then take its fucking brain and then be like, it tastes like a chicken nugget, doesn't it? No, just eat a fucking chicken nugget. Fancy cooking is stupid, and I'm starting to hate it. This is so
You're just
dumb.
now starting to hate it.
And Brian, I think you're giving away what you would do if you were on the show, which is you'd be doing some prep work and stuff like that. And you'd be like, "Hey guys, I'll be back in a few minutes," and then the camera would see you running to a McDonald's, ordering some chicken nuggets, coming back, and then throwing them on a plate.
I
I'd
would
be
for
like this.
sure do a Trump White House dinner where I would just have Big Macs and French fries from McDonald's, and I would
sponsored.
say, "This is what people like. This is what you like. Why? Well, I'm gonna take the time to make something fancy. This is what tastes good."
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, I thought maybe someone would say Trump was here, but I guess he didn't show up because that was me doing an impression of him.
Did you have a second thing?
Yeah, I was going to say, you said you had two
Did I have two things?
Yeah.
No, This episode feels wild and insane to me.
Well, that's because hypothetically, you were supposed to be gone like 20 minutes ago. 27 minutes ago.
You want to talk about peanut butter mashed potatoes?
Is there a reason you don't want to hang out with your wife? You want to talk about it?
No. I think what's happening is I do that thing where what Reaves has is that when he's not there, everyone goes, "Oh, it's so good," and then you feel bad. But you know what? I'm bigger and stronger than that, and for
Bryan.
that reason, I'm gonna go. I gotta go, guys. Text
hold
me,
on,
text me
Bryan,
when you're
hold on.
done.
Brian, hold on 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
You do understand you're leaving. Literally, we're at the end.
Yeah, we have.
There's no point.
maybe
No, well,
5
okay.
minutes left.
I gotta go. So text me when you guys are done.
At the end.
We
Text me when
couldn't
you're
be
done,
closer to the
and
end.
I'll cut the record off and then do everything. So text me when you're done. And I'm gonna be downstairs. So this was a lot of fun. I'm sorry I can be with the whole thing. Yeah.
Could just cut all this part out. Didn't have to say any of this. Could have been a nice smooth transition.
All right, I gotta go.
Was this Brian B. Lyon? Oh, he left.
Okay. So we're just gonna, we're at the end anyways. Reaves.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna play what Spike did at Judge's table.
Okay.
Change in direction.
Well, with all due respect, they were in your walk-in, and it should never make it in the walk-in if it's not high quality.
I'll take the shot. I had frozen
No, I mean,
scallops.
like-
I'll take the shot, bro. I had frozen scallops in my cooler. But you gotta take the shot that you used them.
I did use them. I mean, I understand that I used the frozen scallops, and
Wrong move.
Ooh, shots back and forth being fired back and forth.
Wrong
Take the
move.
shot.
Wrong move. Okay.
Yeah, he's at. How'd you cook the scallops?
Yes.
Well, I had to dry them the fuck off because they were frozen as shit in your freezer.
Because your shit was frozen and gross as fuck, man, and that's all your fault. And he's like,
And he said, "Okay,
okay.
I'll take the shot."
The way he points at him when he all of a sudden gets aggressive about it, he's like, "You take the shot," which I don't know if that really makes sense. So you got to take the shot on this. I'll take that. I'll take that to the back. I fucked up. I had frozen scallops. Okay, you got me.
You got me.
But you know where you got was using
Picking
the
'em.
thing that I put in there.
Yeah.
So it's on you, and you apologize to me, and you go home.
Tom started pointing
Okay.
to.
Yeah, Tom
was like-
shook his head. He was
Tom
disappointed.
was like, "If I see frozen scallops, I'm throwing them in the trash, so no one can use them."
My trash can is filled with
Yeah.
frozen
Yeah, then I'm-
scallops. It smells
then
like
I'm-
shit.
I'm gonna ask the owner. Did you know you had frozen scallops when you were walking? Yeah, I threw out like 200 pounds of them.
Yeah,
So did you a favor? You're welcome.
dumpsters filled with them.
Well, the dumpster's filled with scallops. We don't get a pickup until like 3 days from now. That's going to attract too many flies. Yeah, well, maybe you shouldn't have had frozen scallops in your walk-in freezer.
That's your shot. You gotta take that shot.
And they're super wet, so it's going to stank.
Yeah, it's gonna be a freaking pool back there.
Go get some towels.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just go to literally the end. Spike loses in front. Well, I just want to say Stephanie wins in front of everyone in judges table. Then they say Antonio and Richard are going to the finals, and then Spike and Lisa are just left, and Spike loses in front of Lisa, and this is his goodbye where he doesn't shake her hand.
Spike, please pack your knives and go.
Guys, thank you very much for the opportunity. I had a fabulous time while I was here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Jeff.
So, Lisa, you're also going on to Puerto Rico.
Thank you. I'm definitely going to bring it.
Congratulations.
I am disappointed. I'm Maddie. I felt like I showed so much of myself here in so many different ways, more than any other individual in this competition.
We'll see each other.
Yes.
And
You guys have fun in Puerto Rico. It's just, it sucks that it had to end like this for me. Ciao. Of course, I wanted to be the top chef, but it's not going to stop me from my goals. I'm still going to excel in this career and in this business. It's not going to hold me back at all. I don't give up. I have a lot of strive. It's hard to put me down. You know what I mean? Like, no one puts me down.
All right, so Spike's gone, and he leaves on the episode where he wins the quickfire. I think he wins 2 quickfires the entire season.
Mm-hmm.
So it sucks. He's gone. He messed up with the potato puree. He messed up with the scallops. He could have picked anything else. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why he didn't just choose anything other than the scallops. He had the beef dish, which was right. Why not pick anything else that's back there?
I think his fatal flaw is he's too confident. And I think he looked and saw scallops and was like, that's a slam dunk. Everyone's going to want scallops. And then he was like, oh, they're frozen. That doesn't matter. I'm great. I'll fix that. And, you see Blaze and Antonio looking at it and they're like, ew, this shit looks gross. I wouldn't take that. No big loss. So, mistake, Spike. And you have now fallen on your own sword. Also, they all were holding hands before they announced who won and who lost. That was weird. And then Spike lost. He lost to a woman who made peanut butter mashed potatoes. So that says a lot about his scallops.
Yeah, can we talk about that?
Ugh, gross. I threw up in my mouth when I heard about that. That talking about duty. That looked like duty.
Looked like duty when she was cooking it. Also, they mentioned how many times they'd been in the bottom. Let's point out that she's been in the bottom way more recently on a streak than Spike has. So, if you're going to bring that up, then bring up, what you remember recently, which is she's been doing nothing good as of late. So did she actually deserve to go on past Spike? I don't know.
Probably not. Her and Stephanie are opposite ends of the spectrum right now. Because Stephanie, she's freaking marching, man. She's marching towards that title. She's getting hot right at the right time. And Lisa is getting shitty at the wrong time, but it doesn't seem to be affecting her at all.
Yeah, Girl in the Goat is getting hot right before the playoffs. So let's do our ending bits. And I assume Bryan will put his in post. So Reaves, where are they now?
Okay, so our boy Spike, he's a local DC man. He has a podcast that we haven't been invited to be on. Plate of the Union podcast. Who knows what it's about? I haven't listened to it. He seems like a real food advocacy
Hold on a second.
guy.
He has a real podcast?
On his website.
Why will he not come on a podcast if he has a podcast?
And it just really, I'm looking at pictures of him with headphones on and microphones. And I'm like, this could be you with us.
Yeah, you have all the equipment.
Yeah, you're already there. It's going to sound great.
Yeah.
You don't have to listen to our previous episodes. Just come on the podcast.
I'm going to message him again when the new season starts, see if he'll come on.
We know about you. He's got a lot of other stuff. He has like a burger place. It's like Plant Burger, I think, which is in a lot of places. So, and he does a lot of consulting and things like that. So he seems to be doing
consult the podcast.
Fine. I know. We wish he'd consult us about being on the podcast.
My moment of joy is early before this record, I forgot to do the recording and pushed it back by half an hour, and that made Bryan leave. So that was my moment of joy this week.
You know what it did? It introduced chaos to the podcast. And I love chaos, especially in any kind of artistic environment. I think it is the blood that fuels comedy and art. Chaos. So it was great. I think we covered it up seamlessly. The audience will not see any kind of break in a normal episode. And I'm glad it happened. I think it was good.
And now that it's just me and you for the ending, do we tell Bryan we're done, or we just let this play out to be the biggest file size possible?
Yeah, maybe we'll give it another 45 minutes or so and see if it blows up or something.
Really give it some legs.
He really did leave the last. I mean, what have we gone? Like maybe 7 minutes?
Maybe 7 minutes. And it's been mostly commercial.
Yes. And he was watching wrestling during half of it. Okay.
All right. So that's it for us this week for the Pod Chef crew. Until next week, we're going to pack our knives and go.
Bye.
All right. And so this is the part now where, if you're still listening, this is the part where we haven't told Bryan that we're done yet. And whatever time you hear now is just how long it took him to get back to the recording and press stop. So enjoy.
Secret.
All right. Bye, Reaves.
Okay, bye.
All right. I messaged him.
Okay.
Let's see how long it takes him to get back up here. There's no point in leaving.
Not at the time in which he did, but I'm guessing maybe he got a message or something like that was like, you should be down here now.
Where's my husband?
Which I was like, you can go if you want to go. Uh-oh. There he is.
There he is.
He's
We're
back.
done. We're done.
I missed so much.
Yes.
I thought it'd be funny if I left the last 5 minutes.
Last 5 minutes. It is funny. Yeah.
It was hilarious.
You guys end strong.
We always do. When
Yes.
It's just me and Reeves.